Well, hey, welcome back, Christine. I have another question for you, if you don't mind. I would love for you to share one of your favorite union stories.
I do have a lot of favorite union stories, but I think the one that really defines why I love being part of this union, why I've stayed so long, why I find it a worthwhile experience, really has to do with those beginning days. Um, and in the beginning, we didn't have steward leave, we didn't have officer leave. Everybody was strictly a volunteer. We had to use our own vacation time to go to statewide council to make the decisions on behalf of our members. We would go to a really horrible hotel called the Farama. It still exists. It's outside of the LA airport. And it was just a nightmare of a hotel. I mean, you hardly ever had hot water. You'd walk into the room and all the wallpaper would be torn off of half the wall, and you would just kind of turn away. You don't want to know why. When it rained, there would be buckets everywhere. We didn't have any money, so we would have a deli lunch. And then Joyce Howland, she was out of the Pomona campus. She would bring a bunch of baggies and bag up all the extra food and save it for us to have for dinner. Because again, there wasn't a lot of money there, and most of us were already spending our own money to get there and our own vacation time. And we would sit around the pool and have our second sandwiches of the day and laugh and talk and kind of make fun of each other and the kind of rooms that we had. And it sounds like a horrible experience, but it was so much fun because we knew we were doing something important. We were building the union, and we got along so well. We were all kind of, as you can tell from the hair, right? Kind of 60s hippie types, made fun of each other. The next morning was always hilarious because you could always tell who didn't have hot water because they would come in looking a little bit of grubby. But it was really some of the best times of my life, being with people who were very, very interested in building this union, and made lifelong friends. And I'm still making lifelong friends. I'll go to a campus and I'll meet someone and I'm like, oh, I know so-and-so, or I used to work in your department, and you just stay friends forever. And that's kind of rare these days.
Oh, that is a good story. And I can imagine what came out of those meetings is what's helped shape the union, right? I mean, moving forward and through all these years. So that has to be really gratifying and satisfying to know that what you did with no hot water and crummy hotels
and buckets
and look where it is today, right? If you could just do that fast forward time lapse, it's like, I don't know if any of you had the idea of what you were doing then turned out to be, some of the other stories that you've shared and how far you guys have come and what you've been able to do for the members. So that's amazing. Did you have any thoughts about that back in the day? Like, this is going to be something, a couple decades.
No, we never did. And we were fairly small. This was, right in the beginning. We had less than 500 dues paying members. And right now we have 2,700, well over 80% membership. No, I think we hoped, but we really did not expect. I mean, sometimes, right, that you charge up the hill and you pray that people are behind you. So we didn't expect that we would be this successful, or that there would be that many people interested in being part of our union. But a lot of it is really the nature of who takes Unit 4 jobs, right? Who is willing to work in student services, who wants to be of service to students. It's not really surprising they transition that into wanting to be of service to their fellow employees. It shouldn't be surprising.
Well, thank you for all you've done for, all through the decades to help build APC. I'm sure that even though I'm not a member of APC, I almost just want to come get a job at CSU so I can come work alongside you. It's that inspiring. So So thank you for everything you've done, Christine.
Thank you. It was always my pleasure.